We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast for the Virtual Coffee Connection. And I don't know if Amy's as excited and looking forward to today as I am. It's going to be pretty hard. Nora and I had the most fascinating conversation yesterday with with a woman who has an emotional affair with spreadsheets just like me and like your daughter. Hey,
Yeah, Erin said there's still no way she's getting up at 6:30, that you would all have to do a one-to-one separately.
well, Nora can schedule that up, but she'll meet with me. She, at some point, she's gonna get up. She's gonna get up and meet with me because it's gonna be it's yeah, she will. It's not it's yeah, because she and I have a mutual love. And and so she will. So um Amy, what would you like to accomplish today?
I know last week we mentioned something about virtual assistants, which I'm currently interviewing. So I would love any insight on how to maximize that kind of relationship with an employee. This will be our first VA, and it's the first time we're hiring a position like this. And they're based in the Philippines because all of my other employees are based here in the US.
I'm sure you will have better experience than I have.
Ideas and thoughts. Well, I'll keep you guys posted then. So yeah, the interview process has been fun. And they have the one girl I'm so far most interested in has a full website built of all her capabilities, and it was really sharp.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. I have worked with I think it's 9 VAs from the Philippines.
Okay.
Some guys, some gals, and none of them worked out.
Mm,
It's all been a disaster. It is
okay.
insane. I mean, it's just crazy. I'm just like, you got to be kidding. It's just, and so are you familiar at all with the game that the VAs in the Philippines play?
So we are using a staffing firm that's one of our customers out of New York City,
Ooh.
that essentially they are their employees, and we're going to pay the staffing firm. So just like here in the US, if you are maybe starting with a temporary person first to come in from a staffing agency, so we're using a staffing agency to do this.
So they might have cracked the code on it because I haven't. You gotta be kidding. This
Okay, October is kind of our target date to get someone started. So as we get to the end of October, I can give you guys updates and let you know.
All right, awesome. So I go ahead and now I only work exclusively with Life Masteries Institute, which is a nonprofit. I think we talked about them last time. They're the ones that sponsor the the coffee connection and everything. So they're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And I only work with people who are certified VAs and EVAs who are certified through them. And so I started working with EVAs, executive virtual assistants. So the what's the difference? A big part of the difference is the EVAs are all US based and the VAs are overseas. That's the biggest difference. And so we tried the Philippines, didn't work. Still open, but didn't work. I mean, big time. Um, Now we're actually through Life Masteries, we're working with VAs through the Pakistan, and that's working better. Um, that's working better, but it's still there's still some challenge. But Life Masteries Institute, they have the craziest cool system. I've never seen anything like it. So 14, 15 years ago, when I started working with their EVAs, it changed our entire business like totally, radically. Like I just absolutely, I mean, their system is so good that so they approached me 15 years ago. And so I did a lot of volunteer work with them and for them, and they approached me and they said, "Hey, Mark, we're thinking about starting this EVA at the time, an EVA certification program." And I said, "Okay, great." And they said, "Would you mind contributing to that?" like, um, like IP, time, and money, because I believe so much in what they're doing. Um, I'm like, sure, yeah, no problem, I'll do that. And it's the one of the best things business wise I've ever done. I mean, it's just absolutely um crazy. And so yeah, that's neat. Anything else you would like to accomplish, Amy?
No, that's good information. I'll definitely look them up also because we are expanding our workforce. That's great information, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, they're yeah. Anyways, so Rob, good to have you. Rob's an
Good
interesting
morning.
um so there's rules that I have. These are fascinating rules. Um I don't know if I told you this, Amy. I think I did, but maybe I didn't. Like, I love people, I just don't like them. Did I tell you that?
Yes, you did.
I mean, so I've told that for decades to people, and Nora is the first one that I've ever told it to, and she's like, "Oh, you'll like," and I'm like, "We'll see." Um, and I do, I do a lot. I mean, it's crazy. And she's like, "It's really not that hard, Mark," but it is for most people. And so, one of the rules is if you invite somebody onto Coffee Connection, then I'm nice to you. If you don't, well, it depends if I like you. Like Amy, I like. Like, she's a creative, even though she doesn't have an emotional love affair with spreadsheets. I won't hold that against her. Her daughter does. So she's a creative. Let me pull up her personality. So, like, she's a creative. And so it's like, And so I'm going to pull up her personality. So most creatives, which of the four shapes do you choose? Most of the time, they choose the wavy line, but they can choose the cube. So I don't remember with Amy which one she chose. And so, yep, she's a wavy line. Yep. And she chose things being boring or not fun. And so they're never on time. I mean, never. I mean, it's never, like, never on time. But her secondary is driver. That's probably why I like her. Because the driver's always on time. Like, always. Like, not a minute early, not a minute late, right on time. So she's got this cool, fascinating. Now, Rob personality. Like, wouldn't it be cool, Nora, if we went ahead and had Life GPS? And then we went ahead and had everybody's personality on that, so everybody could go ahead and see one another, and then we could connect. And so Rob, oh yeah, he's an amiable, so he's gonna be late. So he's gonna be late. And what I know about, and so my wife, she's an amiable, she's always late, and there's always a good reason. like, like now a driver's personality. Now, this is what's fascinating about Rob's secondary personality is driver. So this poor guy's late, but he hates being late, but he's late, but he's not used to working with somebody like me. So it's fascinating. So we'll give you just a little more time, Rob, to get acclimated. I have a feeling so Rob is the first person in my life that I told him, I said, "Rob, I'm going to put you through some tests." So Nora and I are writing a book together, and it's titled Your Voice in My Headset. So Nora's a pilot, you know, so she flies planes, and so she's a pilot, and so Your Voice in My Headset, and it's about friendship. So I'm creating a test for friends to go ahead and determine which ones I want to get to level 4 friends. Like, and so Rob, he agreed. He says yes. And I said, I'm not going to tell you what the tests are. Yeah. So I like Rob because he's on video and he's shaking his head now. So he's interacting. So I'm like, okay, he's playing with me. I love when people play with me. Like Amy, she just plays with me, her smile and energy, and she's just so much fun. I'm like, I just come here just to go ahead and play with Amy. Like, can't wait to see her daughter get on a call at 6:30 in the morning. That's the ultimate challenge. She's gonna do that.
She won't be perky, I'll tell you that.
Oh, still be perky around me. Anybody that has a love affair, an emotional love affair with spreadsheets, let me tell you, that's a person I can go, yeah, no, she and I will
They
connect.
do all act the same. Since yesterday, I've realized that.
What do you mean?
People that have love affairs with spreadsheets, they act the same. They can have like the same energy when you bring it up.
Right?
It's funny.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
she
crazy.
created a new one yesterday. I'm like, I don't think that one's necessary. Like our CRM system kind of does that. Well, she's like, well, I need it for me. I'm like, that's fine.
Right? Right. That's exactly right. No, I totally have her so introduce her to Nora, and Nora will go ahead and pass along this podcast to her. She's coming on. What's her name?
Erin.
Erin?
Yeah.
Erin. That's a beautiful name. I love that name. I have lots of friends who Erin, you and we need to talk because people don't understand us. Like your mom, she doesn't understand you and I. CRM.
I appreciate her and you
Right.
because it's not my strength. I need that wheelhouse filled.
No, absolutely. So Erin, you want to come on at 6:30, just do it once. Like just do it once. And once you do it, like it's going to be so much fun. Kenny, what would you like to accomplish today?
Oh boy. I'm not even sure. Probably
So go ahead.
probably something to do with so the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna see what the team is made of and see if they can run without me. See if they crash and burn or see if they make it.
So Kenny owns a construction company and he's going 2 weeks to, is it Montana, Idaho, Canada? Where are you going?
Montana.
Montana. So he's going to be out of pocket for 2 weeks. I mean, it's out, it's one of the 3% that Verizon doesn't cover or something like whatever that is. So he's going to be gone. So he's vacillated. So it's a hunting trip. So he's vacillated. Should he go? Shouldn't he go? Whatever. And it's going to be an interesting adventure. So, yeah, for sure, get at least, Luke to participate and his partner to participate in Coffee Connection. So definitely get him here while you're gone. Man, when you come back, you're going to like, I need to be gone for 4 weeks. Like the company's running so much better. So Kenny is a fascinating personality. And so he's an amiable, expressive personality. Oh, he's got some analytic at times too. But he's expressive, amiable, analytic. So he's a chameleon-ish, but he doesn't have the driver, he doesn't have the driver. So that's why he loves me so much, because I bring a lot of that to the table. And so, Rob, is there anything specific you would like to accomplish?
Getting up this early was the first one.
Oh, you're
so
like Aaron. Okay,
Yeah.
so Rob passed the first test. He was late, but it's okay. at least he's up this. How early is it for you there?
5:30.
Oh, so you okay. So see, Aaron, like glad you're in the same time zone. Glad you're not in Pacific time zone, like 3:30 in the it's Aaron, I'm just telling it's worth even if you had to get up at 3:30 in the morning, I'm telling you, like it's crazy. Okay, so good, Rob. So he passed one test. You know, he got up and was on, he failed another test. He was late. Don't even be a minute late with me. I'm a driver analytic. Like Amy, she gives you room. Me, I don't. Like I don't. Like you're 3 seconds late. How can you possibly live with yourself and being 3 seconds late? Like driver analytics, they don't. And I don't know if it's Nora or Anita. One of the two is going to go ahead and get us, and preferably be Anita, but I'm good with either one. We'll get and I'll show you guys this. This stuff is fascinating on what it'll say. So Rob, he failed. So he passed one test, showed up, failed another test. He was late. Don't do that again. Like, but Aaron, it's okay if you're late, kiddo, because you love spreadsheets. And so like, if you have a love of spreadsheets like I do, there's extra grace that's given because you and I, the dumb people who create CRM systems, we have to have spreadsheets because they don't do the magic we do. Aaron, I'm on the same page with you. I agree with you. That spreadsheet's needed. I just know it. Rob, he failed another test because didn't I send you something, Rob? In an email?
Yes.
With links?
Yes.
Did you immediately reply to that and say, thanks, Mark, for sending this? And then you went through and you immediately jumped on that and just was all over that. Did you do that?
No, I did not.
But there's a reason.
Of course.
But
yeah, you don't need to know it because it's not important to you because it didn't happen.
Well, now he's getting sassy like my wife. Like, this is not going to go well. Like 41 years. So, yeah, you can get sassy, but again, this a podcast is going to 8 billion people. You might want to be a little careful about that. So, is there anything you would like to accomplish today, Rob?
Yeah, it looks like my old job's trying to bring me back at least close to full time. And that's on top of everything else. So I'm trying to figure out how to juggle everything.
So what you need to do is you need to go ahead and connect with Nora. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we're done here, it looks like you're one of those kind of guys because you're an amiable. I got to tell you when you're being tested. And so don't get sassy with me because I can sass back. Like I've got 6 granddaughters. They're sassy little girls. I'm studying them. Like, wow, are they sassy? Anyways, you need to contact Nora right after. This is a test. Okay. You need to contact her right after and say, Mark told me to do a business x-ray. It's $285. I'm just going to trust him that it's the right thing to do. And I'm just going to do what he tells me to do, when he tells me to do it, how he tells me to do it, and do it with a great attitude. Does that make sense, Rob?
It does.
Yeah. And so you don't, yeah, analytics. So the analytics don't like to do that. They like to think things through, and it's like it's $285. You don't want to spend $1,000 of time to go ahead and make a $285 decision. It just doesn't make any sense. So do that because what you're doing is you're being sucked back in to the zoo. So I would rather, when I was 23 years old, I realized like I had 6 job offers coming out of college. So my wife was 19 when we were married. I was 20. We were both in college. We went through college together, and then we decided to start a family. And so she got pregnant and right away, like it was fast. And then we both graduated from college. And then I got 6 job offers coming out of college. And the only job I knew I didn't want to do was sales. Because obviously somebody who doesn't like people isn't going to be good in sales. I knew this. I knew I was going to suck at sales. And I'm like, I hated salespeople, never wanted to be a salesperson. And I'm like, so I took 100% straight commission position with a wife who was 3 months pregnant, and we bought a house at the same time. And it was a little tiny company, and they had 2 days. I'm telling you, 2 days of selling or 2 days of training. And then they said, go sell. And I covered a very affluent area in Illinois, in the Chicago area, Hinsdale and Oak Brook. So a lot of big mortgages there. I knew I'd be successful. I wasn't. Epic failure. First 3 months, I made $1 an hour. Literally. This is not good when your wife's 3 months and now 6 months pregnant. We bought a house because of how hard I worked when I was in high school, saved all that money, and then bought a house, but we couldn't afford putting curtains up. So we put bed sheets up. A great story. A great story. So why did I go ahead and choose 100% straight commission when I had, these other job offers, company car and benefits and everything? Because I knew when I was 23 years old, I knew that I would rather die in the jungle than live in the zoo. Like Amy's thinking, man, that guy's smart. Like, how did he know that at 23? Right? It's true. I don't know how I knew it. I just knew it. But I had a wife who was 6 months pregnant, and so I had to have 2-income family on 1 income, and $1 an hour is not going to get the job done. So I go in and I pound on the president's table. Literally, I go in, I pound on the table, and Tony, like I'm doing everything you guys are telling me to do. And 3 of those 6 job offers came back, and they said, Mark, your profile is perfect. Your experience is perfect. Like I own my own company. I had a great looking resume. I'm not saying I was great. I'm just saying I had a great looking resume. 3 of them said, if it doesn't work out, you have a job with us. So when you're making $1 an hour, your wife is getting a little, honey, things are not looking good here. Do you think you ought to look at? And my in-laws, her parents, are like, Mark, what are you thinking here? I've got this all. So don't you think you ought to go ahead and get some established? And I hate, like, that's the biggest motivator to surviving for the last 34 years is I don't want to go and work in a real job again, like ever. And so I pounded on the table and said, Tony, I'm doing everything you guys are telling me to do. None of it's working. And he said, well, Mark, it really takes 12 to 18 months to build your business. They didn't tell me that on the upfront. Another story, another time. And I didn't have time to whine about it. I said, well, I don't have 12 to 18 months, Tony. And he said, well, what do you think you ought to do? I said, well, I think I ought to do this, this, and this. He said, well, go do it. I'm like, really? That's so cool. Fortunately for me, I'd started a number of my own companies while I was in college, and one of them was a computer company. So I had more computing power at home than the whole company had, literally. So then I said, okay, Mark, you didn't do real good in, school. You're not like the sharpest tool. And like, I'm below average, in intelligence. You probably all saw that, but we're nice people and said, this seems like this guy has really below. It's true. I have below average intelligence. I said, and you don't like people. So you're not really smart and you don't like people. Well, what are you good at? And I'm like, well, I'm really good at like studying people who are successful and then figuring out how to clone that, do that. I'll put a system in. I'm great with systems. I'm a machine with systems. It's just spreadsheets. Like they'll fix anything, any problem, seriously. And so then I said, okay. And so I spent the next 30 days out there working, getting killed, getting eaten alive, doing stuff I hated doing. Everybody's rejecting me. And people are stupid. They just are. Anyways. And so I finally developed this tool. So I've been out there for 4 months. And I came out with this first tool that I had to give me an edge. I accomplished more in a week with that one little simple tool. It was a spreadsheet. Like it was based on a spreadsheet. So I accomplished more in that 1 week than I had in 4 months. It's fascinating when I look back at it because there was a vice president of sales and he had like 30 years of experience. Nice guy, experience. And then there was a marketing manager, and he had 25 years of experience, super nice guy. But I was kind of miffed that, none of their systems work. So I said, I'm taking both of their jobs, both of them. And I did, 6 months after I joined the company, I saw so much success from that first system. I built a second, then a third system. 6 months after I joined the company, they promoted me to a regional manager, but then I still was doing straight commission, but then started recruiting and developing systems and stuff like that. Citibank came in and said to the president, they said, we've never seen any company in the country that has a system for hiring, training, recruiting, and mentoring like you guys have. I was 24 years old. I didn't even know anything. And I still could go ahead and produce systems because of spreadsheets that transformed like the whole company. It was crazy. So 6 months after you joined, then I was promoted to a regional manager. 6 months after that, marketing manager took his job. Year and a half after that, a vice president of sales with an equity position in the company, took both of their jobs, turned them into systems. It was unbelievable. We built that company from one of the smallest in Illinois to one of the largest in the Midwest based on systems. And so what Rob's doing is he's being seduced back into into the zoo. And so what we can do is the X-ray, yours will be different than others, but the X-ray will help you to understand how to go ahead and position yourself where you can use that as capital to start your own company. So they need you, otherwise they wouldn't. So how do you do that? There's a whole thing. So that's going to help you a lot. Does that make sense, Rob?
Yes, it does.
So Amy, 1 to 10, how much do you trust people?
It varies, but I'd say typically a 5.
Okay, on how much? That's a lot more than Nora did when she started working with me. She was at a 3. And so 1 to 10, how much would you like to trust people?
I still like to stay at a 5, probably. Skepticism is good, Mark.
So that's really fascinating. We'll have a conversation about that. So this is what I would recommend for you, Amy, too. I would also call Nora and ask her to do a business X-ray and say, hey, Mark said to do a business X-ray. I'm just going to trust Mark. So you're gonna trust me at a 10. Nora, it took, I don't know, a few weeks to get her from a 3 to a 10. And I think that she would probably say it's good to trust Mark. Because if you trust your intellect and something doesn't work, well, it's your intellect that's the issue. If you just go in trusting somebody, if they're trustworthy, well, then they're going to make sure that it's going to bring great value to you. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything else you wanted to accomplish? Anita, Nora, anything either of you have?
No, I think I'm good. Been great.
So, Amy, anything you got?
That would be good. I'm interested in that business X-ray system. It might be delayed a little bit, Mark, because we got 2 big projects in October, but I'm definitely interested.
Well, you know me. I like reasons, and so
And I'm going to email Nora. I'll invite Aaron to the meeting, and I have another lady, Karen, who I invited last week, but I'm going to have Nora send her an invite too. Maybe she can pop on.
super. And the X-ray takes an hour. And, to do the interview, Nora would actually do that herself. And then because I like you so much, I'll personally do the review. That takes another hour. So it's 2 hours. So it's 120 minutes. We have 10,080 minutes every week. And so, 120 minutes out of 10,080 minutes. Yeah, I'm telling you, you're going to come back because you're an expressive. So you're good at sales. I'm not. You're going to come back afterwards and say, Mark, I got to give you some suggestions on selling because I am so ticked that you didn't sell me doing it immediately. It's 120 minutes, for crying out loud, Mark. Like, you just suck at sales. I'm like, no kidding. So no, it'll be fun. And it connects into your goal of 1,000. Like, I want to help you reach that goal. That would be so cool. And the X-ray will answer so many questions for you. And on the interview, it'd be good for whoever you want to sit in on that if you want to, like if Aaron or something, and it doesn't have to be 6:30 in the morning. The review can also be any time too.
Yeah.
But that will absolutely be magical, and we can record actually both of those if you want it to be, because you might want to share it with some other. I mean, it's just the whole process. When you see it, I think you're going to connect the dots so fast and say, "Oh my gracious, this is a critical ingredient to getting that at 1,000 and everything else."
Yeah.
So if you're
Yeah,
listening,
especially for Uplift, because I run the 3 businesses. So I'll probably make that a focus of Uplift Business Collective, not my marketing company.
right? And see, this is, I mean, I'll share the story one more time. I know we're running a couple minutes late. We start right on time and on right on time. If you need to go, except Rob, he needs to stay a little later because he came a little late. So if you need to leave, you can't. But one final story, like a few years ago with the Business X-ray, I had the privilege of doing the review with the gentleman. At the end of the review, I said, "Hey, do you have any questions?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm really ticked off." And I'm like, "Okay, why is that?" And he said, "Mark, I wish I'd have known you guys a year ago." And I'm like, "Okay, why?" And he's like, "I spent over $40,000 having a company come in and analyze my 3 businesses." I said, "Okay." And he said, "I learned more from your $285 Business X-ray than I did the over $40,000. I'm like, "Well, dang, I wish we'd have known you a year ago too. We could have saved you a ton of money." And so the X-ray looks at 3 dimensions, 9 major areas, 7 systems, looks at over 40 areas of your business and life. It looks at what you're doing right, little tweaks you could do to improve. It looks at the 4 phases that every business must go through to get your business to run without you. I mean, the thing is absolutely magical in what it does. And then if you're a consultant, you can not only benefit from it, like Amy's not only going to benefit from doing it for her 3 businesses, but she can actually use that as a tool to sell consulting or products or services or subscription or participation, because the information that's there helps you to go so deep with an individual so fast and have an understanding of where they're at, that it will go ahead and take somebody's consulting or whatever they're selling. If it's B2B that you're selling, the Business X-ray can be used as a tool to go ahead and help you sell and reduce your sales cycle in crazy amounts. So if you have any questions on anything we can cover today, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll free 888-230-2300, outside the US 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone. Oh, I'm going to stick around afterwards. If anybody wants to stick around, you can. But thanks, everyone, and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.